CRUZ Performance, Don Cruz here. Today I want to highlight one of our products that we've had for several years now. It falls in the category of our Holley plug-and-play products that we have. You know, the originator of the plug-and-play Holley harness for Turbo Buick. 10 years this year. So very proud of that. Very glad we could do it and carry it on. The supporting pieces that we've had along the way with the smart coil mounts, the injector harnesses, the dual fan setups that we have, and so on. This has been one of the mainstays. You know, we started out with the Holley 7-inch dash, which was just a square, old-style dash. We printed that up to go ahead inside the cluster area. We used that initially. Then we went to the 6.8, and then we went to the 12.3. And since we've been at the 12.3, there's been no looking back. I mean, you know, we took some time to prototype it, get it set up, and perfect it like we do all of our products here in-house, which again is key. Not only do we make the products, we install them here. We have Jeremy at Oliver and Sons and a few other guys out there install it to test to make sure that this stuff is working. We're not getting the opinion of, you know, somebody just slamming it in or whatever. It's based totally off 100% dedication of us getting the install done. So, you know, this 12.3 mount is come a long way. You know, the mount itself is very thin, very small, so that way it doesn't stick that far out. You have to have some type of support in there. So once it goes in, you know, realize we make this so you can install it. So you pull the old cluster out, 4 bolts pull the old cluster out, you pull the speedometer cable out, which is probably the most difficult thing to do. We actually pull the cable completely out of the vehicle because Holley's 12.3 has a GPS speedometer on it. So we go ahead and pull that out and then go ahead and mount this in. And it's just easily gonna mount in just like your factory cluster. So the same way your factory cluster would bolt in, this goes in the same 4 mounting locations, has the slots and so on to where it'll locate in to make it real easy for you. Just like our wiring adapter that we have that's plugged into the factory connector, so that way there's no hard wiring. We got that, you know, designed so that way you can just plug it in and everything will be populated with your turn signals, your high beams, and your fuel level. So simple mount. Now, with that being said, you're gonna have the option to use our printed bezel, our bezel that we have set up for all configurations, or you can really modify a factory one. Guys that have modified the factory one, sure, they like the look of the, you know, retaining the factory look and so on, but you literally have to make Swiss cheese out of this thing. You have to cut out everything here. To do it right, you really need to cut this out, because if you don't cut that out, then you're actually gonna take away from an inch or so of the Holley dash, which in some cases has the gear indicator or AFR there or something. We have a tendency to put a lot of gauges there. So if you want to use this, that's fine, but you know, realize you got to cut it down. You got to cut the front of it, you got to cut all of this out, and you got to cut the back of it, because there's a couple of areas where it'll hit in the back and there's no way around it. You just have to cut it up. Hence is why we came up with our perfect fit bezel. In this particular case, we make it for headlight switch, dimmer switch, and this particular setup is for a Twilight Sentinel. Few and far between, but we do have a few of them. We actually have 2 cars in the shop right now that we're working with that have them. Your defrost and your mirror, your right control mirror. That's the big one that we have. Regular one with just a defrost. This one can have just defrost. You can have just mirror. You might have nothing. You could have none of those controls there. But you know, want to get this out there so we get you re-familiar with, you know, the products we're making to support this Holley that we've been doing now, the originator, for 10 years. I think we're going to be coming out with a lot of different things here, promoting our products and making sure everybody's up to speed on all these products that we're making, you know, to know what's available, know who you can contact, know who's installing them, and so on. Made in USA, made in Florida, CRUZ Performance products, Holley 12.3, dash mount, dash bezel, fits like a glove, no cutting, no modifying, no nothing. Pull the old stuff out, put this in, been proven with Holley's help and the help of plenty of Holley dealers out there with a ton of even V8 swaps, LS swaps, and so on. I don't have an accurate number on these things, but I can tell you it's well over 1,000 with these also. Proven to work, we have it right here. As always, we got our instructions online. You can't figure something out. Sometimes things need to be spaced a little bit. Give me a call, text, whatever. We'll get you through it. We're also going to provide this with a a new screen that we have, the GN screen that we've been working on, the high definition screen. So in the past, if you bought the Holley dash from us, the Holley kit and so on, we would go ahead and program your dash with whichever screen you want to make sure it's set up. It's pretty intensive as far as time-wise. I mean, of course, we have to hook it up to power and so on and do it. We're willing to do that for you. If you need that, just reach out to us. We'll get you set up with the Holley 12.3. We'll get you with the custom screen that you're going to see here in this video. We can get you with the GNX style dash, any of that stuff, our plug and play dash connector so there's no hard wiring, our plug and play mount system where there's no modifying. So it's best to go ahead and strip the dash down this far, remove the surround that's around the whole dash area. And then once you got it down, strip this far. By the way, this very unique car, it's got the Twilight Sentinel, which we have a provision on our bezel for the Twilight Sentinel. You'll go ahead and remove these 4 screws that will remove the dash, remove the speedometer cable, and basically the wiring just comes out on its own. That's how you go ahead and get our CRUZ mount, 12.3 mount located in here. So this is the 12.3 mounted in, and we're going to utilize a stock bezel on this. The customer wants a stock bezel. So you can see the CRUZ mount in the back here. You totally remove the factory cluster, unplug it, and you put this in. Now the footprint of this 12.3 is much larger than the factory cluster. So there's no way really to get it to set back any further. You know, keep in mind we're doing this for customers to install on their own without cutting, splicing, and so on. So there's 0 modifications to the factory portion of this dash. And even though it fits perfect with our bezel, I want to give you an example of a bezel that we cut. So this is my point of the bezel, the way we cut it. You're going to lose a lot of this area here because this customer wants to leave this. So some customers will allow us to trim this out, but again, it's best to use our bezel. With that being said, that's the way that's going to look. You lose all of this bottom area here. So fits well with our mount. Everything's in there good. Everything's going to work. Everything's flush. But you really eliminate a lot of surface area of the Holley dash up and low unless you trim a lot more of this out. Okay, here we have the our printed bezel that we've been making for quite a few years, that we designed a long time ago when the 12.3 came out, you know, for our Holley kits that we have. You know, realize that our Holley kits is a true kit. We can have just a wiring harness. We can have the complete kit with individual coils, all plug and play and so on. So even this version here, we designed this for you to simply install. You remove the original cluster, you mount the 12.3 Holley with our mount. It's in there. With our bezel, it's going to fit flawless. Seamed all the way around perfectly and so on. 100% showing around the 12.3 Holley. In this particular case, this customer doesn't have rear defog or mirror, so that provision's not in here. He just has the headlight switch with the dimmer here. Like the car we showed earlier has Twilight Sentinel, so we even make it with Twilight Sentinel. Make it with Twilight Sentinel. It'll have the rear defog, mirror, any configuration you have. And in some cases, like in the Missile, we don't have anything. We don't even have the headlight switch because the Missile doesn't have that. It's on a switch panel. So we can go ahead and eliminate all of them if you wish. This has always been a favorite dash layout that we've done from day one, is the GNX style dash. And let me get to it here. Right there. So that's the one that's been the favorite since day one, my personal favorite. It just replicates a GNX style dash. So we do 99% of these in all the ones we've done. And by the way, in the past, what we've done is if you buy the dash from us and the bezel mounts and our dash connector, so that way there's no hard wiring, we offered a service where we went ahead and set this up for your turn signals, for your high beams, your fuel level, and so on. We do all that in here because there's a lot of programming, a lot of time goes involved setting it up. But what I wanted to show here today with it is we designed this Grand National look screen like the factory. Looks real well. Got all the important information on there: oil pressure, fuel pressure, AFR, boost data, RPM, of course, voltage, temperature, fuel level. So we got everything on here that's going to go ahead and display. It's going to give that factory look of the GN like a lot of the guys have wanted here in the past. Very, very high resolution piece here that we got. So want to get this out there and remind everybody of the dedication we have to making this Holley stuff work in these vehicles for the last almost 10 years now. Actually, during a certain part of this year, it will be 10 years. So there you go. CRUZ Performance 12.3 Holley Dash, 100% using our bezel. You get the full version, the full view of it. If you use the factory bezel, you're going to lose some of this here in the middle. And it just takes away from, what the Dash actually is. My opinion, this is by far the best looking piece. And the integration with Holley, works real well. It's up to you, whatever gauges and stuff you want. But we are going to start offering programming the dashes before they leave again to make sure you get that set up. And again, we can have any configuration you want. Fits like a glove, no looseness, no, it's good enough, whatever. It absolutely fits like a glove and shows 100%. CRUZ Performance, quality without compromise. Bye-bye.